Good morning, everybody. I have a little bit changed the title of my presentations that you found on the paper, on the schedule, at the mainstreaming, but I have a little bit changed here. Citizen knowledge for climate adaptive governance through virtual observatories, considering the Kaligandaki basin in Nepal. Just back, this is the concern with the whole mountain Evo team, including the Nepal mountain Evo team and the central team in Imperial College, London, and then other partners of the project. Yeah, I will be discussing about the study area and then what we found the issues regarding ecosystem services and adaptive governance, and then what we found are the community or the local stakeholders suggest for the project to do ahead. Of course, all of you know the Nepal is mountainous, beautiful country. Besides, we have a lot of challenges that we are facing. Basically, climate change vulnerability, we are in the position 4th rank in the world. And the flood and landslide risk, it's very much frequent in the country, in Tarai, means plain region, and in mountain region. And of course, that we lost the fertile soil, which is very important regarding the ecosystem services. Every year, we lost the 1.2% of the total fertile lands due to floods and landslide. So this is the vulnerability context of the country. Based on that, we have developed the project in the site of Mustang district, which is Trans-Himalayan region, and having lowest population in the country, it's about 1,400 people. And the climate is very arid and alpine cold region. Almost our national annual rainfall is 1,500 to 1,750. But the region in the study area is the annual rainfall is almost 250 millimeters. So it is very dry. And then we face in the region the major stress is erratic rainfall, precipitations, and the land degradations. Of course, the people livelihoods depends on the farming, on the agriculture, as well as farming, basically tourism sector. And many ecosystem services in the regions, we basically focused on the provisioning services, basically food and water, and the land ecosystem services, basically rangeland ecosystems that we are going to focus. And we see here is the watershed of the Kaligandaki basins, and this is the lower region, this is middle, and this region is the Upper Kaligandaki basin. We have 16 VDCs in the basin, or in the district, we call it Mustang district, and out of 16, the 11 districts are in this region in the Upper Kaligandaki basin, including some VDCs from middle region of the basins. So we are considering the 11 VDCs in a large sampling. And when you talk in the community, then we have selected the 3 VDCs. One is from the upstream, we call the Chose, and then Ghami in the middle, and then at the lowest is the Kagbeni. And the Kagbeni region is very famous in terms of different dimensions that I will talk later in the following slides. Yes, project methodology. We have 4 methodologies that we are going to conduct, and we have been conducting as well. The first situation analysis we almost completed, and it will be final result will be come out in coming month in December. And then after having the situation analysis results, we'll follow the other 3 steps, other 3 methods: monitoring of river flow and climate, and then we'll develop the platform for sharing and communication of the informations and the results. And then our ultimate goal is to be fulfilled using these methods, that capacity development on decision-making process at a regional and local level, basically at district level, that we'll discuss. And this is one metro climate stations located in the basin, in the project site, and we have many hydrological and meteorological stations, basically 6 climate stations, including precipitations, and some of 2 or 3, one is here, another is our stream flow stations in the basin. And yes, in the situation analysis, we have divided into 2 parts. One is the situation at the basin level, and the other is at the community level. So at the basin level, we found the different stakeholders and discussions, and identified the hot spots of the basins that the people suffer from the unbalance between ecology and the social systems. Of course, considering these 2 hypotheses, that lack of local knowledge about ecosystem services process to implement adaptive governance, basically the social systems and the ecological systems. And then we thought that, okay, if this is so, then we can minimize, or we can address the issues are lacking using some technology that is can adequately communicate results of citizen science knowledge, support the decision-making process for basically their livelihood strategy. And considering with those key hypotheses, we found some provisional some ecosystem services. The provisional services that I have already mentioned, the food and water that we are considering, and most of the people's, almost 70% people's livelihood depends on the agriculture. So the goat and the yak are the famous for their livelihood sources. And then the fuel, wood and timber for energy supports, for energy energy sources they are using. And then this regulating service is very important in the basin, basically soil erosion, landslide and flood. These hazards are controlling in the systems, natural systems. And the recreational services is very important. You see the landscape of the basins, the Himalayan and then Peak Mountain, and we have some pilgrims famous places. We call the Muktinath. Our Prime Minister of India is trying to visit the Muktinath temple because of tight schedule. He postponed his visit to the area. So these are the key services that the community and the local stakeholders have benefit with the services. Okay, and what we found the issues, the main issues is the low annual value of ecosystem services for poor community. Of course, they have there are three types of the community in the basin. One is rich, one is in the middle class, and then poor. Poor in terms of the land, in terms of the inaccessible to the natural resources, as well as the services from the government that government is providing. So based on that, we have to check in the detailed analysis that the population is decreasing in the basin. Of course, this is a Kaligandaki basin, main river flow, and the peoples are living nearby the bank of the river, and this is the sources of the livelihood. This is tree plants called the apple farming. So apple is the most important sources of the community. Yeah, of course, this is the situation of the climate variability. The annual rainfall is slightly increasing, whereas the winter rainfall is decreasing, but it does not seem to show any significance of changes. However, the annual temperature, when we see the annual temperature of the basin, is slightly the lowest temperature, minimum temperature is increasing in the basin. And very good example, thank you. Very good example that we have the good practices in the basin, but there is lacking of some monitoring systems. As a result, the community faced these challenges: pasture land decreasing, energy demand increasing, and water conflict, and they lost or they ignored the ecosystem services, values, and ethics. They have a lack of many decisions process because of what the ecosystem services is being changed. So this is the main important things in the basin, and also they have also the lack of some information, means of information, communications tools, and the basin is very vulnerable to rapidly change the weather. If the weather system is changing in the basin or also in the Bay of Bengal or in Indian Ocean, that we have one example that we suffer the Hudhud cyclone happened in the Indian Ocean in the last month, and that we lost the 32 persons, including tourists and the locals. While we talk the governance systems in the basins, they have the practice, the governing systems is the village headman system that we call at the local level Mukhya system, which is a very traditional and the customary systems, and it is still working in the informal way. And the other formal system is also that village development committee decision systems. And they have some conflicts between the traditional systems and the formal systems to decide the ecosystem services or to control and manage the natural resources. And based on that, we found some recommendations that gaps can be addressed using the ICT, information communication technology, and the data and information sharing to integrate the citizens' knowledge into the development planning process at the local level. Based on that, we just completed 1 week before the detailed situation analysis at the community level using such tools, which is familiar with the social science as well as natural science assessment tool. These are some glimpses of the field visits that our researchers and the community are participating and providing their knowledge as a citizen science knowledge. Thank you very much.